Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we're not just watching a video, we're stepping into a battle. Not a battle with guns or fists, but a deeper, more brutal war. The battle between light and darkness, between truth and illusion, between you and the narcissist who once turned your life into a living hell. Picture this, you're standing face to face with them, the narcissist, wearing that smug smile, those cold, calculating eyes, and an ego inflated like a castle built on sand. They drained your energy, manipulated every emotion, and made you question whether you were even worthy of love. But one day, you wake up. You look in the mirror, and instead of seeing a trembling victim, you see a warrior with fire burning in your eyes. You're not just a survivor. You are the nightmare they never saw coming. Today, I'm here to share a secret the narcissist never wanted you to know. There is a power greater than theirs. A power not built on manipulation or fear, but on healing, compassion, and unshakable strength. That power is the super empath, the strongest, most unstoppable version of you. Narcissists think they're invincible. They believe their fake charm and bloated ego can control anyone, anytime, but they've never met a true super empath. This isn't a story about revenge. No, it's so much bigger than that. This is about reclaiming your life, about rising up and saying, enough. I'm not playing this game anymore. In this video, we're going to explore 5 ways a super empath not only survives a narcissist's toxicity, but dismantles their false ego, move by move, step by step, until there's nothing left for them to hold on to. If you've ever been hurt by a narcissist, maybe it was an ex who left you crying every night, a family member who made you feel like you were never enough, or a friend who only took and never gave, then this video is for you. If you're looking for a way out of the toxic spiral, or just want to understand the hidden power inside you, stay right here with me. This is not your average video. This is a life-changing journey. So right now, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. Don't let the narcissist keep writing your story. It's time you took the pen back. Let's begin. Before we charge into battle and uncover the 5 ways the super empath destroys the narcissist, let's take a moment. We need to understand, who is the super empath? They're not some comic book superhero with a flowing cape and supernatural powers. No, they're ordinary people, just like you and me. People who once cried in silence, who once felt they weren't enough, who gave so much of themselves they forgot who they were. But what sets them apart? They've forged their compassion into a razor-sharp sword, turned their wounds into strength, and built an unshakable fortress around their hearts. A super empath is someone who loves themselves. Not in the cliché way you see plastered all over social media with pretty quotes and picture-perfect selfies. No, their self-love is grounded. It's action-based. It's setting firm boundaries, honoring their worth, and refusing to let anyone walk all over them like a doormat. They weren't born with this power, they built it, day by day. Through tears, through sleepless nights of questioning, through moments of looking into the mirror and deciding, I deserve more than this. I will no longer let the past define me. Think about this. Most of us, empaths, grew up in environments full of pain. Maybe you had a narcissistic father who made you feel like a failure no matter how hard you tried. Maybe you had a mother who criticized everything from the way you dressed to the way you spoke. Or maybe you loved someone who only took your time, your energy, your love, without ever giving anything back. Those wounds aren't weaknesses. They are proof that you survived things most people can't even imagine. And the super empath is the one who took those shattered pieces, pieced them back together, and created a breathtaking mosaic of resilience. So let me ask you, do you see yourself in this story? Have you ever given so much that you felt hollow inside? Have you ever woken up and asked yourself, why did I let them treat me like that? If you have, I've got good news for you. You carry the seed of a super empath. You don't have to be special. You don't need a perfect story or an untouched past. All you need is compassion. And I know you have it because you're here, listening, searching for answers. And today, I'm going to show you how to water that seed so it can grow into a mighty tree that nothing can shake. But first, understand this, becoming a super empath isn't some divine gift that falls from the sky. It's a journey, a choice, a commitment to yourself that you will never again let a narcissist or anyone else define your worth. Are you ready? Because we're about to step onto the battlefield where the super empath doesn't just survive, they conquer. Now, imagine this. You're standing on a chessboard. On one side, the narcissist, with that smug smile, cold eyes, and an ego puffed up like a balloon ready to burst. On the other side, you, the super empath with razor-sharp eyes, a heart on fire, and a strategy no one can predict. These are the 5 moves that not only help you survive the narcissist's toxicity, but force them to face the truth they've spent their entire life running from. Each move is a calculated play, and by the time the game ends, they'll have nothing left to play. Get ready, because we're just getting started. Method 1. Shatter their sense of entitlement. The narcissist lives in a delusion. They believe the world owes them everything. Your attention, your obedience, your submission, all seen as entitlements they've self-appointed. They walk into a room and expect every eye to turn to them, every conversation to revolve around them, every person to bow as if they're royalty. If you don't comply, if you dare to challenge them, they get furious. They'll try to manipulate you with sweet words or covert threats. They'll punish you with silent treatment or explosive rage. But the super empath doesn't play by their rules. The super empath stands tall, looks the narcissist straight in the eye, and asks one simple question that cuts like a blade. Why do you think you have the right to hurt me? Think back to the last time you faced a narcissist. Maybe it was your boss who demanded endless overtime without a single word of thanks. Maybe it was your ex who expected you to sacrifice everything, your time, your dreams, your happiness, just to please them. Or maybe it was a family member who made you feel like you had to apologize just for existing. They expected your silence. They expected you to bow your head and accept their control as a given. But the super empath doesn't do that. They say, no, I won't let you walk over me anymore. And in that moment, something miraculous happens. The pedestal the narcissist stands on begins to shake. Their sense of entitlement, the very thing they use to crush others, starts to crack. This isn't aggression. This isn't hostility. This is justice. The super empath cannot tolerate injustice, not because they want to fight, but because they know their worth. They understand that no one has the right to crown themselves king and turn others into slaves. When they call out the truth, fearlessly, without apology, they destroy the foundation the narcissist built their false power on. Picture this. The narcissist screams, I deserve respect, and the super empath calmly responds, respect is earned, not demanded. No trembling voice, no self-doubt, just truth. And that truth pierces straight through the heart of the narcissist's illusion. The narcissist can't handle this. Their entire world is built on no one daring to question them. They need you to believe they have the right to control you, that your role is to submit. But the super empathy shatters that illusion with a single sentence, a steady gaze, one moment of defiance. And when that illusion breaks, the narcissist begins to panic. They don't know what to do when faced with someone who's not afraid of them, someone who refuses to follow their script. Have you ever done that? Have you ever stood up and said no to a narcissist? If not, imagine it. The freedom of taking back control, the power in refusing to play the puppet in their play. Maybe the first time you do it, your voice will shake. Maybe your heart will pound in your chest. But that's the moment you begin to become the super empath. That's the moment you tell the narcissist and yourself you're no longer a victim. That is the power of the super empath. And this is only the first move in the game. Method 2. Seeing through the mind games. Now let's move on to the second move. The narcissist is a master manipulator. They don't fight fair. They play psychological games to make you doubt yourself, to pull you into an emotional whirlwind they can control. They pretend to be the victim, crying and telling heartbreaking stories to make you feel guilty. They use passive-aggressive tactics, dropping veiled insults or giving you the cold silent treatment to leave you confused. They say things like, "If you really loved me, you'd do this," or "This is all your fault. I'm never wrong." But the super empath has a superpower the narcissist never saw coming. X-ray vision that sees straight through every mask they wear. Picture this. The narcissist sits there, tears streaming down their face, telling you that you hurt them, that you're selfish, that everything wrong in their life is because of you. An average person might fall for it. They'd apologize, try to fix things, give even more just to soothe this supposed pain, but not the super empath. They look the narcissist in the eye and think, "I see exactly what you're doing. This isn't real pain. This is a performance to drain my energy." And instead of arguing, instead of falling into the emotional trap, they smile and say, "I know this game, and it doesn't work on me anymore." That's the power of stillness. A narcissist needs your reaction like air to breathe. They need you to get angry, to cry, to beg for forgiveness, because that fuels their ego. But the super empath gives them nothing. They cut off the supply the narcissist needs to survive. Think back to the last time you faced a narcissist trying to manipulate you. Maybe they said, "You always make me feel terrible," and you spent hours explaining, justifying, trying to make it right. But the super empath doesn't do that. They respond, "If you feel terrible, that's your issue, not mine." No anger, no defense, just a clear, unshakable truth. And that terrifies the narcissist. They don't know what to do when you don't play your part in their script. They're used to pushing your emotional buttons and watching you fall apart. But when you stand there calm, grounded, and unmoved, they lose their grip. They might escalate, scream louder, cry harder, or even launch nastier blame attacks. But the super empath stays steady. They know every word, every action from the narcissist is just a desperate attempt to regain control. And by refusing to engage, the super empath forces the narcissist to face the one thing they fear the most, the truth, that they are not as powerful as they think. Have you ever tried this? Next time a narcissist tries to pull you into one of their twisted mind games, try silence. Look at them and think, "I see exactly what you're doing." You don't need to say it out loud. Sometimes your silence is your most powerful weapon. That's the moment you take back your power, not by fighting, but by refusing to fight. This is the second move of the super empath, and it shakes the narcissist to their core. Method 3. Shattering the false ego. Next, we arrive at the third move, a brutal yet deeply moral one. The narcissist needs admiration like oxygen. They live in a world where they must be praised, put on a pedestal, seen as superior to everyone else. They brag about their accomplishments, exaggerate minor victories, and expect you to clap and cheer. If you don't, they'll either lash out in anger or try to tear you down just to feel bigger. But the super empath doesn't play that game. They look the narcissist straight in the eye and say, "You're not more special than anyone else." Picture this. The narcissist struts in, boasting about their recent promotion, their new car, or something amazing they've done that they think will blow you away. They expect you to say, "Wow, that's incredible," but the super empath doesn't. They reply, "Good for you, but that doesn't excuse the way you treat others." They're not jealous, they're not trying to compete, they simply refuse to buy into the false ego the narcissist is selling, and that makes the narcissist's inflated self-image deflate like a popped balloon. This isn't cruelty. The super empath doesn't shatter the narcissist's ego to hurt them. They do it to stop the abuse. They understand that this false ego is the narcissist's weapon of justification. "I'm better than you, so I have the right to control you. I'm special, so you must obey me." But the super empath rejects that logic. They expose the insecurities the narcissist tries so hard to hide, not through attack, but through truth. "You don't need to pretend to be superior just to feel worthy," they might say, or, "If you were truly confident, you wouldn't need my validation." Think about a narcissist in your own life. Maybe they're always showing off, always chasing attention. You might have felt the pressure to applaud them, to constantly make them feel good about themselves. But the super empath doesn't do that. They know everyone is equal. No one is born to dominate others. And when they refuse to place the narcissist on a fake pedestal, they force them to face the truth. Their ego is a castle built on sand, and it's starting to collapse. And that terrifies the narcissist. They can't stand being seen clearly, having the shiny mask they've carefully crafted stripped away. They might lash out, accusing you of being jealous, bitter, or small. But the super empath stands firm. They know those words are just the cries of a crumbling ego. By standing in truth, the super empath destroys the illusion the narcissist depends on to survive. Are you ready to do that? Next time a narcissist seeks admiration from you, try saying no. Try standing in your own power. That's the third move, and it's more powerful than you think. Method 4. Don't let their words wound you. Now we come to the fourth move, a shield of unshakable power. The narcissist is a master of toxic words. They hurl blame, insults, and cutting remarks designed to pierce your heart and make you question yourself. You're nothing, they might say. This is all your fault. No one will ever love you. These words are like poison-tipped arrows, and they hope you'll crumble, cry, and beg for their approval. But the super empath doesn't absorb those arrows. They know, this isn't about me, this is about their own insecurity. Picture this. The narcissist stands in front of you, face flushed with rage, shouting, "You're the worst person I've ever met." A regular person might shrink, might feel their heart break, but the super empath doesn't. They look at the narcissist and think, that's how you feel about yourself, not me. They don't argue, they don't react. They simply let the words pass by, like wind brushing against a stone wall, and then they walk away, unscarred. This is the power of awareness. The super empath understands that the narcissist isn't a fully developed adult. They're an angry child trapped in a grown-up body. Those venomous words aren't truth. They're projections of fear, insecurity, and inner emptiness. When the narcissist says, "You're nothing," what they're really saying is, "I'm terrified that I'm nothing." When they blame you, they're desperately avoiding responsibility for their own actions. The super empath sees through that, and that's why those words don't stick. Think back to the last time a narcissist tried to wound you with words. Maybe they called you selfish, useless, a failure. How did you feel? Maybe you cried. Maybe you wondered if they were right. But the super empath doesn't go down that road. They know their worth doesn't live in the hands of a narcissist. It lives inside themselves. They've done the inner work. They've built self-esteem. They've learned to love themselves so deeply that no insult can shake them, and when the narcissist realizes their words no longer hold power, that their sharpest weapon has gone dull, they panic. Have you ever tried this? Next time a narcissist throws toxic words your way, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this isn't about me. Let those words float past you, untouched. It's not easy, I know. But every time you do it, you grow stronger. You become a wall the narcissist can't break through. That's the fourth move, and it's your shield against every storm. Method 5. Strategize like a chess master. Finally, we arrive at the fifth move, the move that secures the win. The super empath doesn't just react to the narcissist, they plan. They don't get swept up in emotional games or meaningless arguments. They play this game like a grandmaster, anticipating every move the narcissist might make and preparing their response in advance. They know the narcissist will blame them, play the victim, and attempt every form of manipulation possible. But the super empath is always one step ahead. Picture this, the narcissist stands before them, spinning a tragic tale about how you hurt them, hoping you'll apologize and back down. But the super empath doesn't fall into the trap. They smile and say, "I have proof of how you treated me. Do you want me to show everyone?" They keep journals, emails, texts, not for revenge, but for protection. When the narcissist lies, the super empath brings out undeniable truth. And just like that, the game is over. The narcissist loses. This is the power of strategy. The super empath knows that narcissists follow predictable behavior patterns. They blame when cornered, play the victim when exposed, and attack when they feel out of control. But the super empath has studied these moves. They don't act impulsively. They think, they plan, they wait for the perfect moment to make their move. Maybe they record every conversation, every broken promise, every act of abuse. Maybe they talk to friends, family, even a lawyer, building a web of protection. They don't do this out of spite. They do it because they know their worth, and they refuse to let the narcissist continue causing harm. Think about the narcissist in your life. Maybe they've made you feel powerless, like you could never win. But the super empath doesn't feel that way. They look at the board and think, I know what your next move is, and I'm ready. When the narcissist tries to blame, the super empath presents the facts. When the narcissist plays the victim, the super empath reveals the real story. And when the narcissist attacks, the super empath stands behind a fortress that no one can break. Have you ever tried planning for a narcissist? If not, start today. Get a small notebook and write everything down. Their words, their actions, how they make you feel. Not to hold on to the pain, but to protect yourself. Think through their patterns and prepare your moves. That's how you transform from a passive player into a chess master. That's the fifth move, and it's the checkmate. Now that you've seen the power of the super empath through these 5 strategic moves, the biggest question is, how do you become one? The good news is, you don't need some divine gift or a miracle from the sky. Becoming a super empath is a journey anyone can start, including you right now. It's not easy, and I won't pretend it is, but it's worth it, because when you become a super empath, you don't just protect yourself from narcissists. You find true peace within your soul. Step 1. Revisit your wounds. Sit down, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, where did these wounds come from? Maybe it was a parent who made you feel like you were never enough. Maybe it was a toxic relationship where you gave everything and received only emptiness in return. Don't run from that pain. Face it. Write it down if you need to. Understand that those wounds do not define you. They are lessons that brought you to this very moment. Step 2. Define your values. What do you stand for? What's non-negotiable in your life? Maybe it's honesty, maybe it's respect, maybe it's the right to be your authentic self. Write down your top 3 core values and make a commitment to live by them. This is the foundation of the super empath, because when you know who you are, no one can make you doubt it. Step 3. Set boundaries. This is the hardest part, I know. Saying no without guilt is a skill that takes practice. Next time someone demands too much, your time, your energy, your attention, try saying, I can't do that right now. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't need to apologize. Just stand firm. Every time you set a boundary, you're building a wall of protection around your heart. And the final step, love yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Fill it with self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-compassion. Do the small things every day. Take a walk in the park, read a book you love, or simply look in the mirror and say, I am enough. This isn't selfish, it's survival. When you love yourself, you become untouchable to those who try to drain you. Start small. Today, say no to one unfair request. Write down how it made you feel. Tomorrow, spend 10 minutes reflecting on your values. Each tiny step is a brick in the fortress of your emotional strength. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. And when you stand tall in that power, no narcissist can ever touch you again. Are you ready to become a super empath? I believe you are, because you're here, listening and searching for change. We have explored the 5 ways a super empath defeats a narcissist, breaking their sense of self-righteousness with uncompromising truth, seeing through their mind games with sharp perception, shattering their false ego with moral honesty, becoming immune to their words with an impenetrable shield, and winning with the strategic mind of a chess master. But this is not just a victory over the narcissist, this is a victory for you. You are not just a survivor, you are a warrior. You carry within you a strength that the narcissist will never understand. The strength of compassion, of healing, and of resilience. And I want to hear your story. Share in the comments below. How have you dealt with a narcissist? Which of these 5 moves have you used? What are you doing right now to heal and step into the most powerful version of yourself? Your story could inspire thousands of others who are watching this video and silently struggling. If this video resonated with you, if it sparked even the smallest flame of hope in your heart, please share it with someone who needs a light in their darkness. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this journey. Together, we are spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse, not only to protect ourselves, but to help others find their way out. Remember this: you are the narcissist's nightmare, and you have the strength to claim that truth. You don't have to walk this path alone. I am here. This community is here, and together we rise. Let your healing begin today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay true to yourself, and stay grounded in the power of being a true super empath. Thank you for being here with me. See you soon.